Okay, I want you to imagine something. One day, one of the most powerful people in the entire world gets a really strange phone call. And this one call, well, it would kick off a story that sounds like it's straight out of a spy movie. But here's the thing. This story is very real.
So on the phone was a man named John Brennan. He was the director of the CIA, that's America's top spy agency. And the person on the other end of the line says something super chilling. I already own you. You can imagine John Brennan was probably confused, maybe even a little scared. I mean, who was this person, and how on earth did they get his secret phone number?
So, this mysterious voice on the phone? It didn't belong to some enemy spy or a powerful villain. Nope. It belonged to a teenager just sitting in his bedroom thousands of miles away. How could a kid possibly scare the most powerful spy in the world? Well, that's where our story really begins.
See, this wasn't the work of just one teenager. It was a small group, and right at the center of it all were two boys. They lived in completely different countries, had never even met in person, but they both shared this feeling that the world wasn't fair, and they were determined to do something about it.
The leader of the group was a 15-year-old in England who called himself Kraka. He was apparently really angry about the wars he was seeing on the news. His partner in crime was a teenager over in America who went by Default. And Default, well, he loved playing video games and he was just naturally really good with computers. So together, they got this idea that they could send a message to the most powerful people on the planet.
Now, they weren't doing this just for fun. They really felt like they had a purpose. They were angry that governments could, spy on regular people. So they decided to completely turn the tables and show those powerful leaders what it felt like to have someone looking into their private lives.
And they didn't just pick anybody. No, they aimed right for the very top. Their target was John Brennan, the head of the CIA. Hacking him would be like trying to break into the biggest, most secret castle in the world. It was a huge and honestly a very dangerous plan.
So how'd they do it? You're probably picturing somebody typing like crazy on a keyboard, with all that green code flying across the screen, right? But it wasn't like that at all. Their big secret weapon wasn't some fancy computer program. It was just a telephone. So here's how this simple trick worked. First, Kraka figured out which phone company the CIA director used. Then, he just called their helpline and pretended he was an employee who was having some trouble. He even made up a fake employee code right there on the spot, and they totally believed him. Just like that, they gave him all the secret info he needed to get into the director's account.
It was that simple. With just one clever phone call, a teenager had tricked his way past all the security of one of the world's most powerful people. He basically now had the keys to the kingdom.
And once they were inside, they didn't just, peek around. Oh no, they threw open all the doors and started sharing everything they found with the entire world. Things were about to get very chaotic.
So they got into his email and found these incredibly private documents, like his application for his top secret job. It had all sorts of personal details that nobody would ever want shared online. They sent these documents to a website that publishes secrets, and suddenly, boom, everyone could see them. Getting the CIA director's secrets was a massive deal, of course, but for Kraka and Default, it was really only the beginning. Their next moves would end up affecting thousands of other people.
Using the information they found, they just kept digging. Pretty soon, they found a list with the names, phone numbers, and even the addresses of 9,000 government workers. And, you guessed it, they posted all of it online for the whole world to see. And they still didn't stop there. After that, they found another list. This one had the private information of 20,000 FBI agents. Can you just imagine the chaos and the fear this caused? These kids sitting in their bedrooms were totally embarrassing the most powerful security agencies in the world.
For a little while, it must have seemed like they could do anything. They felt powerful, like these online ghosts that nobody could ever catch. They were a total mystery to the world. But then, something totally unexpected happened. And that's when things really started to go wrong.
It wasn't some clever detective or a super spy who finally figured it all out. The end came because of a simple, careless mistake. One night, Default was just at home, playing video games online with a friend.
While they were playing, a news report about the CIA hack came on TV. And Default, probably feeling a little too proud of himself, bragged to his friend, "Yeah, that was us." He probably didn't think his friend would believe him or ever tell anyone, but he was wrong. That one little sentence, that was the beginning of the end.
So, Default's friend told someone
who then told someone else, and pretty soon, the FBI knew exactly who they were looking for. One day, there was a knock on Default's door, and all the way across the ocean in England, there was a knock on Crackas' door too.
The game was officially over. Police literally stormed into their houses. They took away their computers, their phones, everything. The invisible hackers were suddenly very, very visible, and they were in some very serious trouble.
Now, because they were in different countries and were different ages, their punishments were not the same at all. Kraka, who was younger and lived in the UK, was sent to a youth center for 2 years. But Default, over in America, he faced a much harsher reality. He was sent to a real adult prison for 5 years and was ordered to pay back $145,000.
Standing there in front of a judge, Default admitted that he once thought what he was doing was right, that he was some kind of hero fighting for justice. But now, he said, I realized I was completely wrong. The thrill of being a secret hacker was gone, and all that was left were the very real-life consequences.
And that's really the lesson of this whole story. I mean, yeah, they managed to shake the entire world from their computer screens, feeling all-powerful and invisible. But in the end, their actions had serious, life-changing consequences. And it really leaves us with a big question. Is a moment of online chaos really worth a lifetime of